Welcome back to the channel, and this is a channel where we give you reviews, playthroughs, unboxings, and we generally like to talk a lot of bollocks about tabletop gaming in general. And in this video we're going to be talking about a worker placement / deck building game. We're going to be talking about Endless Winter, and in this game you will be putting your workers out onto the board to take actions that will allow you to get cards into your deck that will hopefully give you victory points that will allow you to win the game. So in this video we're going to be giving you a very brief overview of the rules, be telling you what we do like, what we don't like, and we'll come back and we'll tell you whether or not Endless Winter is worth your time and bother today and in the future. So remember, if you are new here, then please consider subscribing to this channel, hit the like button, all that YouTube bullshit. See you after this. Bollocks. So, Endless Winter, how'd you play this game? So, Endless Winter is a worker placement / deck building game in the Paleolithic era, I imagine, because that's what it says on the box. It's Paleo-American, so I suppose it's the Paleolithic era, if that exists. I might be wrong. So you're going to play this game over a series of phases. You're going to have the action phase where you'll be taking actions. You've got the eclipse phase where the eclipse happens. You've got the preparation phase where you'll be preparing for the next round. And then you'll do some final scoring, right? First thing you'll do in the action phase on your turn, you'll get the option to play culture cards, right? You'll be able to take a culture card, play it, and take the action in front of you. You could do this more than once. This is important because you're going to be using the cards that you don't play in your hand in the eclipse phase, yeah? So the next thing you're going to do is the bog standard worker placement action thing. You'll be placing one of your tokens out onto the board to take an action, right? If you're the first player to go to a location, you'll be able to take the bonus action at the bottom of the list. You might want to take the initiate action, which allows you to gain tribe cards or bury cards, right? If you want to bury a card, you'll stick it in your little cemetery bit. First action on space lets you take a tribe card, but you'll have to spend one tool and one labor. You spend labor by playing cards from your hand for the labor value that's printed on them, right? You'll then be able to move down and take the second action. If you want to do that, you'll have to spend a food. You'll see that you've got food on your food track. You move your food track down that number of spaces, and you'll take a tribe card into your discard pile, and you'll be able to bury a card. And if you are the first player here, you'll be able to gain an idol, in which case you'll be able to move your marker up one of the idle tracks, right? You'll see on the idle track that as you move up the track, you'll be able to get a bonus, and whoever is highest up on the track will get a bonus in final scoring at the end of the game, yeah? So second action is a migrate action. This will allow you to take actions on the map. You'll be able to place the leftmost camp on your player board onto the center terrain tile, yeah? Next action, you'll be able to spend a labor to move your camp one adjacent space. And the third action you'll be able to do is to spend 3 food and take a village miniature from your player board and put it in the center of 3 adjacent camps, right? It's a little bit like sort of Catan with the roads and the cities and stuff. And then you'll be able to place a camp or move a camp if you're the first player there. Next action is the develop action. You'll be able to spend 3 labor and take a culture card into your hand. And I'm told that Boy George isn't on any of the cards. Thank fuck for that. You'll be able to take or add a sacred stone to the leftmost player board space. You'll take a sacred stone and you'll dump it on your player board, and this will give you a number of benefits. Next action you could do is the hunt action. You'll be able to spend 1 labor to draw the top 2 cards from the hunting grounds. This is basically a deck of animal cards, and you'll be taking these into your play area to either eat to get a benefit, or you'll be able to save up sets to get victory points at the end of the game, yeah? So once everyone's finished taking all their actions, you will discard all of the cards that you played into a discard pile, and you will prepare your eclipse pile. You'll see that a lot of cards have the eclipse symbol on them, and these will activate in the next phase, the eclipse phase. You don't actually have to play eclipse cards into your eclipse pile because you might want to do a little bit of bluffing and make people think that you're playing more cards than you actually have, right? You sneaky bastard. So the eclipse phase, this is basically a rip-off of the Dune Imperium type thing where you will hold back some cards and make use of them once all the actions have been taken, yeah? So you'll reveal all your cards simultaneously. You'll add up all of the labor values on those cards. The player with the most labor will then become the first player in the next round, yeah? The second most will be the second player, and blah, blah, blah. You get the idea, right? And then in the new turn order, you'll get the eclipse benefits of that card. You'll gain the turn order track benefit. You'll have a look at the turn order and you'll get that benefit that's next to yours or anything that's below it. You'll perform the eclipse abilities on your cards that you played. You'll gain eclipse benefits on tiles where you've got camps and villages and stuff. You'll gain the eclipse benefits on your player board. So once you've done fucking about with all that, you'll go into the preparation phase. This is basically a bit of cleanup that allows you to prepare for the next next round. There's also a thing called megaliths, which I believe they pinched from Roads and Boats. Yeah, basically what you'll be doing, you'll have these tiles on your player board, you'll take them off your player board and you'll stick them onto the megalith, and you'll get points for how many tiles you have placed your tile on top of, right? Plus some other bonus stuff. So once you've done all this, you'll keep going till you've done a set number of rounds, and then you will do a bit of final scoring. You'll look at the offering track, you'll add up your food and tools and divide by the ratio that you reached on that track. So if you didn't do well on this, you ain't going to get nothing. Then you'll do the same for the honor track. You'll look at how many cards you buried and you'll get a number of points based on that. You'll add up all the points on your tribe and culture cards, right? And then you'll look at the sets of animals that you got and you'll get victory points for all that. And once you're done messing about with all that, then the player with the most victory points will be the winner of Endless Winter. So what do we like about Endless Winter? So the first thing that we like about Endless Winter is there is an abundance of options, not only when you're placing your workers out on the board, but with the cards that you have. There is loads of things to think about. Are you going to get points from taking stuff off your player board and sticking it on the map, right? Are you going to get points by buying up loads of cards because they're going to give you points as well? Are you going to focus on the monolith, right? Or are you just going to go for a little bit of everything? This isn't quite a Feldian point salad, although I have heard people complain about this game, saying that they managed to get everything done. I've never experienced that. It's always been a bit of a struggle to get more than a few things done. There's so many different options in this game. It's almost like they've tried to add too much stuff to this game, but it just means from game to game you can pick and choose where you're going to go, what you're going to do, and lock horns with other players that got the same idea, right? So the second thing we like about Endless Winter is that you get the opportunity to have a taste of everything. I mean, it doesn't allow you the luxury to gorge on every single thing. Like we said before, there are people out there that reckon that they've managed to complete all of the different tasks in this game. You know, they reckon that they've done the megalith and they've done the tracks. They reckon they've cleared their player board, right? You never get the feeling that you are wading through a quagmire of elephant shit, that turn by turn you're not actually getting anything done because the board has changed so much. If you stick your fingers in enough pies, there's going to be enough blueberry crap all over your hands that you're going to be able to taste it every round, right? And that's what we like about worker placement games. We like games that give you so many different options that there is always a decent choice to make, and it doesn't make your brain fry with frustration. So the final thing that we like about Endless Winter, and this is always a favourite mechanism of ours, is that you have sort of hidden final scoring at the end, and you never really know who has pulled that dirty great big rabbit out of that top hat, yeah? Every game we played of this has been too close to call at the end, and you're on tenterhooks thinking, have I done enough to get over the finish line, right? And I suppose if you are a couple of points away from winning, then it can be a little bit deflating, but we love hidden scoring, and this game does it really well. And every game we played of this has been really, really close, right? So what don't we like about Endless Winter? So the first thing that we don't like about Endless Winter is that it could be accused of being just another bog standard Euro game with a nice lick of paint, right? I already alluded to this in the brief rules overview, is that it seems to have pinched quite a few mechanisms from other games. You've got the take stuff off of your player board to reveal benefits. That appears in Terra Mystica. You've got the megalith type monument thing that's going on in Roads and Boats. You've got the tracks in Sulkin, right? And it seems that that's just been carbon copied over. And then they've copied the Eclipse phase from Dune Imperium. So I suppose it could be accused of being just a massive lump of plagiarism. But I suppose it means that you can just experience all of those aspects of those games in one game, right? So I suppose in a sense it's a negative and a positive, but I just wish that designers would come up with their own original shit. So next thing that we don't like about Endless Winter is the setup and teardown is excruciatingly painful. There is so much stuff to set up. They tried to make it easier by giving everybody a little tray to put all their stuff in, but what they don't seem to understand is that some poor bastard is going to have to fill that tray at the end of the game, and that is usually me. This game is just huge. There's too much stuff, and I have been told that there is more stuff available. There's expansions that add more stuff, and for a game that's got this much stuff in it, you don't really want to waste your time packing away more stuff, right? I just wish that there was an easier way to set this game up. There's too many little intricate little things you've got to do. You've got to make sure that all the cards are set up. You've got to make sure that this tile's over here and all the different starting hands have got the right cards in. And it is a massive fucking ball ache, yeah. I'm just getting too old for stuff like this, yeah. You know, maybe when I was 21 a couple of years ago, it might have been a little bit easier. But when you are on the wrong side of however old I am, then you just want to sit down and play the game, right? You don't want to spend an hour or so fucking about setting this shit up. So the final thing that we don't like about Endless Winter, and this seems to be in stark contrast to what we were saying about hidden final scoring, that most games we played of this have been too close to call. And that is that we feel that in 4-player games, there's always one player that is going to be left behind because everyone else has gobbled up all their cake before they got to eat it. It always seems to me that one player is unlucky enough to not get to the spaces that they want to go to. Then all the other players are going to be able to chain combos together to basically drown the other player, right? They're going to be gasping for air, getting frustrated that they can't move forward, yeah? So I think this game sits best with 3 players. It's not a particularly long game with 4, but I just think there's more scope to do what you want to do with 3 players, and you're not going to have an odd one out sitting there getting annoyed. And you don't want that, do you? On game night, you don't want to be telling anyone to stop moaning and shut the fuck up, do you? So, is Endless Winter worth your time and bother today and in the future? So we're going to say yes. One of the reasons we like this game is because we like Euro games. If you don't like Euros, then this isn't going to do it for you. You can't polish a turd, right? It doesn't really make a difference in the Euro world what games look like, yeah? It could be just a bunch of cubes on a map and people would still be wanking each other off over it, right? But if you like Euro games, this is a decent option. Doesn't really tread any new ground. We did say to you, didn't we, if you were listening, that it borrows a lot of mechanisms from other games. In fact, it doesn't borrow them, it just bloody nicks them. But in doing this, it still offers a decent level of head-scratching fun, if that's your sort of thing. If it ain't, then maybe just go and get head lice or something. You're going to need Vladimir Putin's table to play this game, right? Because it takes up more space than Cyril Smith on a Flybe aircraft. But if you can survive the balmy and quite frankly painful setup, and Euro worker placement games are your substitute for illegal drugs, then this is definitely going to be a game that you are going to want to check out. If you are into Ameritrash Formatic games, then you will want to avoid this like Ebola. So there you go, that is Endless Winter. Remember, if you're new here, then please consider subscribing to this channel, hit the like button and all that YouTube bullshit. We'll see you next time.